Chevy gon' dip. Step into my mothership, take another
I'm
trip.
feeling lost in the crowd, and I don't wanna lose touch. Nah, like it's about to go down, down. Well, you can never get enough. Oh.
Now everything poppin' bars, put you right, mix the lean, get the Sprite, get the brain, get the pipe, get the chain.
Now everything
Poppin' bars, put you right, mix the lean, get the Sprite, get the brain, get the pipe, get the chain.
Raise your hand, Texas sun, megaton phenomena. Here they come, drop the bomb, fire up another one. What it do, thought you knew what the boom would do to you. Crush the building with my crew, meet me at the open zoo. I'm sitting on the sub, my bitch seeing double. I'm whipping in my crab, burning rubber in the gutter. I'm standing on the speakers, I'm busting on fofo. I'm getting deeper, deeper, deeper.
I'm feeling lost in the crowd, and I don't wanna lose touch. Nah, like it's about to go down, down. Well, you can never get enough. Oh, no.
Everything poppin' bars, put you right, mix the lean.
All right, we are live. Hey, everybody.
Hi!
Go. How is everybody? How was everybody's week?
It was awesome.
I'm eating Cheetos.
So
That's
you
how
can-
my week's going. I'm
Oh,
eating
I'm
Cheetos.
not sure if that's good or bad or both.
Oh, it's amazing.
Mine's going well. I've been today. I've had the day off, so I've been extensively testing the DX Racer's ability to recline.
I got mine, I want to say it's probably been about a year ago now, and have been super happy with it. Although, like, Katie, my other half,
Except
got
when you break
one that I like a little bit better. But what are you going to do?
Yeah, I got a Max Stomach because I didn't know if DX Racers specifically built chairs for tall people.
They do.
I did not know that until after I got my chair.
Aw.
They're actually
But
really good.
Yeah, this chair is super comfortable. And it was just like, oh, it's built for people who are over 6'5" and over 200 pounds. Yeah, I think I fall in that line.
Just a little bit?
Just a little bit. But it's hilarious trying to see Cassie sit in this because her feet just dangle off the floor.
HP Vox, what did you get up to this week?
Oh, we had our Hellblade event yesterday. That went really well, which was nice. That game is phenomenal, by the way.
Right on. I started playing it for like a half hour yesterday, and I couldn't play anymore because it was stressing me out.
Yeah, and that's kind of the intention of the game, just because of the thematic elements of it. They do just a phenomenal job of hitting all the right cues with all the various kind of mental issues that they worked into the game. I mean, if anybody is unfamiliar with Hellblade, just go look it up and you'll be blown away, because it's incredible. One of the best games I've ever experienced, period. Not in the last year, not in the last 10 years, just period.
I'm trying to be a responsible adult and not buy the game. Because
it is only $30.
I was going to say, and this is where
I don't
help you with that and go, it's
I
only
don't
$30.
have $30 to spend.
That's fair. Spooner, thank you for the bits. Mags, what did you get up to last week?
Doing some more work on my dreadlocks.
Just you wait for her.
Just doing some more work on my dreadlocks and a little bit of the Long Dark. And fuck story mode, because those wolves are mean.
I was gonna say I got into the Long Dark and I got up to the point where there were wolves, and then I
No, we're
promptly
good.
died. So that was the thing that happened. It was like, yeah, and you're dead. Like, well, fuck.
Is it long and dark?
It was pretty short and actually pretty bright. There's a lot of snow everywhere, so no. Dan, what did you get up to this past week?
What have I been doing? streaming. Pretty much.
PUBG?
What have we been playing? No, let's see. Last week was... Where are we now? Wednesday. Last week was Elite Dangerous week, so we played Elite. This week has been multiplayer stuff, so I've been playing Killing Floor 2, which is on the Humble Monthly Bundle at the moment, so grabbed that and tried that out. That was good fun. What else have we been playing? Yeah, I played a little bit of PUBG. And what else are they doing? Multiplayer. A little bit of Fortnite.
Right on.
But yeah, it's all good stuff.
Roger?
That's it, really.
What'd you get up to last week?
Streaming and trying to sit still and be as patient as possible as I slowly count down the days to the Dauntless Founders Alpha.
Right on. Did you stream anything special? I know you've got like a 24-hour event coming up.
Yep, which is the Dauntless Founders Alpha. I'll be streaming that for 24 hours on the 19th. And I'm trying to charm the devs right now into seeing if I can't get a couple keys to give away on stream too.
Nice. And that'll be a charity stream?
Yep. This is my fourth or fifth 24-hour stream this year for Extra Life.
I can't do it anymore. I'm too fucking old. No, last time I did it.
Yeah.
Dude, I'll be in like my late 70s and I will still be like up 24 hours a day playing video games.
Can't fucking do it anymore. Last one I did was attempted to do was a D&D 24-hour stream. So DMing for 24 hours.
Never do that.
Yeah, by the 21st hour, I was just punch drunk and had no idea what the fuck was going on anymore.
You hit the wall around about, I always used to find, you hit the wall around about 17 hours. 17, 18 hours. If you can push through to like 20, 21, then generally you can do the last few okay.
I think we ended up, we got a donation, because the way that we had set it up is like donations for the charity had effects in game. And so around about the 20th hour, somebody decided, yeah, now's a good time to really donate, and donated enough that the players had to fight a Tarask. And I think that's what we did for the last hour. But my memory is also super vague at that point, so it may have just been 5 minutes. I don't know.
It's about right. I think we cut it off at like 21 and a half hours, somewhere around there.
Yeah, it was fun, but it was, by the end of it, I was just done.
Yeah, I stay up for in excess of 24 hours to 30 odd hours a day fairly regularly, but I'm not doing 24-hour streams anymore. I think I've done like maybe 11 since I started streaming, maybe 11 or 12 of them, and they're just crazy. I used to do a 24-hour stream for every 1,000 follows. It's like, not doing that anymore.
Dude, I'll do them just like out of the blue.
Yeah,
just because I want it.
I mean, they're just really detrimental to your health. That's the only reason I've stopped doing them. The last one that I did, I was literally ill afterwards.
Yeah. I'm gonna die anyway. Might as well have some fun beforehand.
Speaking of dying a lot, we are playing Paranoia this month, and how have you guys been? What do you think about Paranoia so far?
It's pretty fun.
I like it. I can kill my friends with no repercussions.
I think it's really difficult for me to be a troublemaker because I just keep dying instead.
You just need to be sneakier about it.
But the only thing that really gets me about the game, which is kind of that being vaporized and coming back as a clone at the moment doesn't seem to have any detrimental effect. So it's not really a punishment, and it's become less of a deterrent. Like within the first hour or two of playing the game, I was like, well, actually, I don't really care that much whether the computer vaporizes me, because I just come back with like my same skill points and my same memories and abilities, and I just pick up the shit that I had on my guy, previously.
Well, I think that right there is where the danger comes in, because if you forget to pick something up, that could be real trouble for you.
Well, it's also in the actual game. You only have 10 clones.
You have 6.
Oh. 6.
So you're only supposed to have 6, and I just threw that rule out the window because I was like, well, we're just gonna have
Right.
fun time with it.
Well, so there's your okay. So right, okay. There's your.
I'm already on clone number 5, so that would be terrible.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that problem this week since last game, and I think I've kind of come up with a solution. And maybe it's that your items don't come back, and then you have to explain to friend computer why you don't have your items later on. So
and then you get killed again, and then you just
or like I'll deduct XP points or something. We'll figure something out. It's really not a huge thing. Like I really just wanted us to have fun with this, so I was like, that's a rule, but I think it's gonna be more fun if we just fuck around. So yeah, it's not a huge thing, but it's fun. So yeah, you guys are enjoying it, and I think we left off last week with you guys finding out that the pirates that were floating along in the red desert topping sea that is the hallway of the Alpha Complex were just LARPers that were there because friend computer told them to patrol the hallways.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that Rojan is in bullet-ridden body armor at this point.
Yep.
HP Fox has a grappling gun, and I think drowned in red topping recently.
No, I'm
somebody
on
did.
the boat with the pirates right
Maybe
now.
it was one of the pirates that drowned. I think that's it,
pirate.
actually. Mags, you are hanging back with Rojan.
I'm mopping.
You're mopping.
I
Who has their mops, by the way? Okay.
I have a mop in one hand and a lead pipe in the other.
And then, Dan, you were last time I remember straddling the helmet of Rojan's body armor, or wrapped around it or something.
That was well, we were when
Crazy.
I was straddling this helmet when the juice started flowing.
Sounds about right.
But once that had come in, I think I got off.
You couldn't even wait until halfway through the stream to break Mags.
I think
At least
I got,
he did it before I took a drink. You fuck.
I think I got off. I think I got down. I'm pretty sure. Am I still up there? I don't even know.
You got shot off after you pissed off the computer. Yeah.
Okay, I can't remember.
Both you and I were killed.
I remember that I was trying to. Yeah, that was
because you got sassy. You got sassy.
Wasn't that before
computer.
that? I thought we got shot with the guns before that.
You climbed up on the armor, and you got really sassy with friend computer. So a Gatling gun came down and like shot both of us.
Yeah. And then we just yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think we're. I don't think. Yeah, I think the wave of top-ins come in. And I don't think we're being swept away on it or anything anymore. I think it's like more or less settled now, isn't it?
It is.
With the boat and stuff. So yeah, we're just sort of hanging out there. I think the last thing I was trying to do was try to find out what they were doing and not fight them. Pretty certain. But yeah, that's what I was doing.
All right. So I think at this point, once the pirates have kind of broken character, told you, hey, we're doing this. You notice that the one in the background that has the oxygen mask over his face, and he's got like a newspaper hat on, like the tri-corner hats that you fold out of newspaper. He doesn't seem to really break character, and he yells, "Avast, ramming speed!" as he like points this saber that he's carrying in your direction, and you see the other members of this pirate crew kind of snap to and begin to like take chairs and broken legs of tables and paddle the boat in your direction, picking up quite a bit of speed.
Okay. So as they pick up speed, I'm gonna raise in this 8-foot power armor that I'm in. I'm gonna raise the pipe and just bring it down as hard as I can onto the boat.
Okay, so let's see. I need to steal everybody's action cards back. Can you delete the action cards out of your hands? Let's see how this works. I don't know if you guys can do that or not. Or
We,
maybe if I can.
I don't think
Steal
so.
card. Steal card. It says that I'm stealing the cards, but it doesn't.
I can only look at them or move them. I can't.
There we
I can't.
go. I can steal them from your hands. I will do
Oh,
it.
fine.
Oh, there
we,
you
we have
go.
to hit the let it go button.
Nice.
Why is there frozen buttons?
I don't have a let it go.
Well, when he tries to steal it, a thing will pop up.
Oh, well.
Oh, well, that's not really stealing.
Right.
I'll let you steal my item. That's giving. That's not stealing. But okay, fair enough. Semantics.
Now can I? No, that's not what I want.
Potato,
All
potato.
right. I can't seem to get them out of my hand, which is fine, because I don't need them anyway. So, oh wait, there's a recall button. Recall all of them. There we go. We'll do it that way. That works. And shuffle, and then we'll deal 4 cards out to everybody. So, for you guys watching at home, the new edition of Paranoia does combat through cards, which, to be honest, I'm not really a fan of so far. But we've only done like 1 round with it, so maybe it'll work out. But you guys should have action cards now. And I have in the guide, I have a
Nope.
speed.
I have the exact same cards.
Interesting. I did shuffle it twice.
I don't.
I don't.
Oh wait, no,
Mine
I
are
have
new.
other ones. I have other ones.
Okay.
Never
I was
mind.
gonna say. So I have speed at which the NPCs work, and then you guys have a speed indicator on the cards that you pick. And so whatever speed is indicated on the card versus the indication for the NPCs is kind of the order that things happen in.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys pick your action that you want to take this round, and we'll go from there. And just
All right.
play it face down in your appropriately colored squares.
How do we do face down again?
Hold shift,
Shift.
when you drag it out to the table.
Okay, here we go.
Hmm.
And if it's too big, I can reshrink it, and that's not a problem. Was this yours, Rojan?
Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna make sure.
Ooh.
So,
Did you break it? I think you broke it, didn't you?
no,
Where do I put my thing?
Yeah, I think yours is the
Which
first
one's mine?
one.
Yours is
Yours
the
is the
far,
first
yours
one.
is the far left one.
Oh, okay.
I'm purple. Fuck this Lalo.
Ah.
Okay,
Ah.
so I just
Oh, it's been moved. Ah,
So-
I'm not doing this.
so hold
I was doing it.
shift- So
Okay, I
hold
got it.
shift and drag it out.
Yep.
I've also forgotten what my card is.
And Max, just put yours in the blue
mind.
one.
Ha!
And I'm gonna assume
Action.
that one is HP Fox's.
Yep.
Alright, cool.
So I think the biggest problem that I have with the card system is that the descriptions on the cards are fairly limiting as to what you can actually do in the combat scenario.
Yeah, they are a little bit. Alright, so flip. Alright, so
Opposite day.
we have opposite day is going first. So let's bring this to the front.
Or is it?
It's got the highest action order.
Never
Or,
mind.
oh, because it's opposite day. Right. There. So opposite day was Max? Was that yours?
No, it's not mine.
This was opposite day. Clearly my
Wait,
color coding system did not work.
Wait, yes, I'm opposite day.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I
Clearly
got a
just
little
Max
too into
is
character.
broken. It's fine. Alright, so it's not... So
Excuse
what
me.
action are you attempting to take, Mags, as these pirates charge towards you on their kitchen table ship?
Well, given that I've been kind of cleaning a path, instead of them heading towards us, I would imagine that the jellies would kind of sloping down into the area of cleaning, so the table is probably careened that way.
Okay. So it's not that everything goes wrong with that action, more that the exact opposite of what you wanted to, or what the target wanted to happen happens instead. Okay. All right. So they begin to charge forward, and because you've been clearing out this this area, some of the red dessert topping, as you've been pushing it against the walls, has been pushing back, and you've unknowingly been creating this ripple wave effect. And as they charge forwards, the wave rushes towards the pirates, pushing their table backwards. And let's see how badly it does that. Let's do this. And they got a crit and a fail. Fantastic. So really, instead of like making any progress, they're just kind of canceling out the motion of the wave, and they just kind of are paddling to stay in place at that point. All right. Let's see. We got 3 here. 2. Okay. So who is I think this is HP Fox. Is the unexpected boon?
Yellow.
Yep.
So what actions are you taking as they are kind of sailing towards you, HP Fox?
So does the table ship have like a mast on it?
It does. It has a bed sheet tied to one of the legs of the table.
Okay, so what I wanted to do was, I think I wanted to try to fire my grappling gun at the ground, like through the jelly at the ground, like an anchor, and tie it off on the mast so they can't go anywhere.
All right, so you're using the grappling gun as an anchor for the ship.
Yes.
Okay. So go ahead and roll me for your roll to hit the ship with the grappling gun.
Well, I'm standing on the ship, so I'm kind of like shooting over the edge and shooting at the ground, so the hook itself digs into the ground.
Gotcha. I had it the other way around in my head.
Yeah, tying it off on the mast.
All right. Well, roll to hit the ground. That'll work. I was going to be very concerned if you missed the ground somehow.
Yeah.
All right. So the grappling hook fires off, and you hear it sink into the tile of the floor, and then you're like taking the grappling gun part of it and running it around the mast to kind of tie it off. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. We've got 2 left. So the ship is now stationary and anchored in place. And Rojan, you had the Great Victory card, I think.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What actions are you taking?
I was just going for it in the power armor. I'm just like as hard as I can, bringing the arm down with the lead pipe, just driving it into the ship itself.
Okay.
Seeing if I can't either sink it or knock them off.
All right. So as you drive down with the pipe, the front end of the ship goes down into the red dessert topping, and kind of catapulting the guy that was standing at the back of the ship, giving orders off of it, and sends him flying through the air, kind of directly towards you and whatever Dan's character's name was, which I've forgotten. Steve. Kind of directly towards Steve, who's still kind of hanging on to the helmet of the power armor. All right, and then this one will be Dan's mistaken identity. Dan,
I don't quite understand this though, because it's as far as everyone is concerned, the target didn't perform that action. So
what you would do with this is kind of something like, you would use it on one of like your players if you were doing something bad, and you wanted the blame to kind of get shifted to them.
Yeah. I only chose this one because it seemed more interesting than the other cards that I had, but I'm still not 100% sure how to use it.
Well, let's see.
I don't even know how to use this. I like what has everyone just done?
So the ship is now anchored, and then Rojan's character kind of brought the front of the ship down into the red dessert topping and sent the captain of the ship flying in your general direction.
You're now the captain. Steal his hat.
Can I make it as though it was one of the LARPers that brought their own ship down, thereby seem into the computer that maybe they've gone against what they've been told to do?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it'll look like they've tried to like scupper their own ship.
So you call up like friend computer. These people are. What are you saying?
They're trying to sabotage their own ship against your instructions. Yeah.
All right, and the panel drops down from the ceiling, and the eye kind of looks around and like pans over you guys and sees you kind of just clinging on to the top of Rojan's character's armor, and sees the pipe in the table with Rojan's characters holding onto it, and watches the captain arc through the sky, and takes a moment to kind of assess the situation. And then you see these 3 lasers just kind of shoot out and hitting each of the pirates. And you hear just this over-exaggerating coming from each of them as they disintegrate. And you're left with a ship with which is now on fire because one of the lasers hit the ship as it passed through the pirate member, or the pirate. And you guys are kind of sitting there with the smell of burning cherry-flavored topping in the hallway.
And I'm frantically trying to untie my grapple gun from the ship so it doesn't burn up with it.
Okay.
You hear "R" from the pirates.
And then Rosalind kind of floats by, her hands still kind of crossed over her chest, doing the back float as she's just kind of kicking her legs further down the hallway.
Nice.
Rosalind creeps me out a little bit, not gonna lie.
She sits up and like looks down the hallway at you guys, and she says, "Well, are you coming?"
I mean, I'm breathing heavily. Yeah. I'll follow. I'll follow.
Yep. I begin moving forward after the pirates are taken care of.
All right, HP Fox, let's get a roll for you untangling your grappling gun there.
Let's see, what could I use for that?
Dude, that packet is so loud, man. Seriously.
Yeah.
Oh,
like honestly.
My chips?
Yes.
Yeah,
Sorry.
so loud.
I'm sitting here like eating like I'm 12.
It's like my headphones are really, really sensitive, and it's just like someone's crackling them in my ears.
So what would you think I'd roll for that? I don't really see anything that fits.
Let's see.
Operate?
Operate could work. Actually, operate's probably the best thing for it.
It's fine.
Hey!
Hey! So you somehow yank on the cable just right, and the cord begins to retract into the grappling gun, and along the way is throwing off all the red dessert topping. So it comes back in, and it's shiny, and it doesn't even look like it's been used.
Awesome. So at that point, I'm just gonna jump ship before it burns down with me on it and follow.
All right. And so you guys kind of go down as the corridor widened, and now you're kind of swimming. And are you how are you guys moving through this stuff? Are you swimming through it? Are you like commandeering their table and now piloting it yourself, or what?
I think commandeering the table is a good idea.
Except it's burning down.
Yep, it's burning down. I'm just moving through it in the power armor.
Yeah,
I figured
I'd probably just stay really close behind Gary, was it? In the power armor, so I can kind of stay in the path that he clears before it oozes back in and fills up.
Well, and I think, isn't Steve still on top of the helmet?
I think so. Yeah, I didn't get down. Yeah. I mean, I can just stay up there. Maybe
Like this is
just
fine.
hitch a ride. Why not? Yeah,
Max?
I mean, you know.
All right, Mags, what is Fitz doing?
I am just trailing along, just kind of walking backwards, mopping while I go. Just like, this is what we're here for, right?
All right. So once you guys have left the dominion of Infrared Beard, the infamous pirate,
Infrared beard.
Beard. Har, where's my remote control? Can't find a channel I like.
So the guiding arrow kind of pops back up on your display, and it points you down to a corridor where it looks like all of the lights have been shut off. The walls are narrower and the ceiling is lower, and more wiring has kind of been exposed on the sides and kind of eroded away by this dessert topping. After a few minutes, the passage opens into a circular room with a big spiral staircase ascending upwards, and a thick stream of red dessert topping pouring kind of down into the area that you guys are in from above. Your cerebral cortex pings gently to let you know that you've kind of arrived, but looking around, you don't see any signs of a plug.
Does the little arrow, like, as like I begin to like move, like just like slowly circle around, waiting to see how if like the arrow's indicating exactly where the plug would be found?
So the arrows disappeared once you heard that bing sound.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ask Rosalind's, like, we're supposed to be unplugging and replugging a plug. Is there any ideas where this plug might be? Or are we supposed to find it? Is it a secret?
She looks at you and she says, "Your security clearance isn't high enough for me to answer that."
Fantastic.
Well, let's start searching. Somebody go up the steps, see if the plug isn't a little bit higher. I'll start moving as much of the dessert topping around down here, see if it's underneath it.
I'm gonna... So, this room is still full of the cherry topping, right?
It is.
God. So, it's probably under some cherry topping, because usually aren't, like, plugs and outlets, like, closer to the baseboards and shit like that, so I'm gonna start kind of using my mop and cleaning up the area, see if I can't uncover where it might be against a wall.
Okay.
I'm just gonna like plunge my head in under the cherry topping just to see if I can look around. I'm not sure. Is it so viscous that you can't see through it, or is there some sort of
I think it's probably
opacity level? Can you see through it? Or?
Slightly
I don't think
transparent,
it's
like you
Jell-O.
can see dark shapes through it, like
Yeah,
your legs.
okay.
You can't make out any definition,
All
but
right.
you can see that
All right.
your legs are there.
Okay.
I want cherry pie now, thanks.
Well, I'm gonna basically like take a perimeter, like go around the perimeter of the room and just kind of like intermittently do some, bobbing.
All right.
Just have a look, sort of see if I can see anything.
Just keep dipping them in cherry, Steve will be up high.
Just yeah, exactly.
I'm just gonna use the hands of the power armor just to like slowly like part the topping like near the wall, seeing if I can't find anything.
Like
Okay.
Moses.
Yeah, like power armor Moses, separating
the
the dessert topping sea.
Go, my people, be free.
HP
Oh,
Fox,
don't say
what
that
is
too loud.
what is Chase doing?
So I think Chase is just gonna stand there for a moment, looking at these weirdos doing this stuff, and then call out to friend computer for some assistance. And if friend computer answers, he's just gonna very plainly and formally say, in order to complete our task with the utmost efficiency, friend computer, I request you ping on my display where the plug is located.
Friend computer replies and he says, "Were the instructions not clear on where you were to go?"
We have arrived in the designated area.
So then you are
However-
incompetent and cannot do your job.
We were not alerted to the amount of obstruction in this area.
We've not been given enough details to do our job, so therefore the instructions were incompetent.
The screen turns, says, "Did you just call friend computer incompetent? That sounds like traitorous talk."
I didn't call friend computer incompetent. I merely pointed out the lacking of competency in the initial instructions given for the job to be performed.
But the instructions were given from friend computer.
Well, therefore, logically, friend computer is accepting his own culpability.
And the computer stops and thinks, says, "I will remember this," and like just slowly, kind of the eye watching you the whole time, the screen kind of folds back up into the ceiling.
Did you just out logic a computer?
I mean, you know, I don't know. He didn't kill me, so
Yeah,
My next, my next motion was gonna be, if it looked like he was gonna get killed, just take my mop and smack the computer screen. It's like, run!
I mean, you know, they still didn't tell us where to fucking find the plug.
Sweet,
We're looking for the plug.
So, you know,
Well, you guys have kind of searched the outside of the room between the three of you pretty thoroughly, or the edges of the room, and not come across anything. There is the staircase that's in the center of the room.
is that goes up?
It does go up. It goes up and it goes down.
Okay. All right. Oh, up and down. Okay.
Mhm.
I mean, I'll check up the staircase. Go up the staircase and check up there.
Okay. So you
Look.
climb the stairs, and once you kind of get around and the kind of the next floor above you comes into view, it looks like something bad has happened. The staircase becomes kind of a tangled mess of mashed up metal bits and chunks of concrete from the walls and ceiling of Alpha Complex that start to block the way. Red dessert topping is kind of squishing and pouring through gaps in all the rubble. And that's really kind of all you can make out, because this rubble is just kind of encasing the staircase as the red dessert topping squishes through it, down around your ankles and down the stairs.
Well,
I'm gonna abandon the upstairs and maybe check downstairs.
Okay.
Upstairs sounds bad.
So you kind of begin walking downstairs, and the red dessert topping is pouring over the edges of the stairs as you walk down. And as you get a couple of stairs down and you can begin to see the room below, it's this big red sea of just red dessert topping. And you can see something kind of in the gloom begin to move around under the red dessert topping. And there are these long, sinuous links that are about as thick as your arm.
Okay. I'm gonna go back up the stairs.
As you turn and your foot hits the next stair on the way up, what's a good description of this thing? This metal tentacle kind of shoots up out of the red dessert topping and wraps around your ankle.
Oh, not
Cherry
tentacles.
Thulu.
Tentacles.
I've seen enough hentai to know where this is going.
Mags is saying what we're all thinking.
Wow. Yo, I've never seen any, so you know.
I'm gonna have to educate you.
Oh God.
So what do you do as this thing kind of reaches up and grabs your leg?
I'll punch it.
All right. Go ahead and give me a roll for attempting to punch this thing.
I guess. Shit. Well, that I guess. Fuck.
Oh.
Surprising.
So you swing at the tentacle that has wrapped itself around your foot, and your foot that you're like kind of putting your weight onto as you're swinging slips out from under you under the red goop, and the tentacle begins to kind of drag you down the stairs.
Yay. Yeah, basically like shout out, because at the moment I don't know what anyone else is doing. This is like, hello guys, could you come and help me please, because I'm getting attacked by some weird tentacles. It's echoey down there.
All right. What is Gary doing?
I take it Gary didn't find the plug.
He did not.
He's about to be the plug.
I call down to Steve. He's like, "You found tentacles. Did you find the plug?"
I didn't find the plug, but I need some help. Also, my voice is weird.
Red Desert Topping is surprisingly echoey.
It is. It creates reverberations. It bounces.
Beautiful acoustic properties.
I look over at Rosalind. Like, why are there tentacles attacking him?
Your security clearance isn't high enough for that.
I was afraid you were going to say that. Well, our job isn't to fight tentacles. Our job is to find the plug.
What if the tentacles is the plug? You ever think of that?
It's a good point. I guess we should go save him then.
Guys, I'm a bit worried that I might end up being the receptacle for some kind of plug in the minute.
All right, I begin to head on downstairs.
All right. And let's see. Where's my thing here? How many? +2. All right.
Hey!
You begin to head down the stairs, and as you're kind of heading down the stairs and reaching towards Steve's hand, another tentacle shoots up out of the red dessert topping, wrapping around your forearm.
Ooh.
Oh dear.
I think this one likes you.
Mags, what is Fitz up to?
Fitz is heading down there to go lend a helping hand with a mop as a weapon.
All right. So, how are you approaching this? Like, are you
Mop in front of me with the little tassely ends, just like I'm ready.
And are you trying to save Gary, or are you trying to save Steve?
Yes.
Steve, it is. So Gary is getting now lifted up by his arm and like dangled over the red dessert topping sea that is at the bottom of these stairs, Fitz comes down with the mop kind of in front of her or him, pushing at the tentacle that is wrapped around Steve's ankle, and another tentacle pops up and just kind of swats the mop, sending it flying out of Fitz's grip and out into the sea of red dessert topping.
Great.
Imp, I just sent you I sent you a message.
I saw it. You actually don't have it yet. I'll tell you in a minute. There's
I have I have the card.
It's just not active yet, and I will tell you about that in a second. We actually apparently should not have been during character creation, which I found odd because I think it told me to give them to you. But it's fine. HP Fox, what is Chase doing as all this is going on?
So, where is Roz, and what is she doing?
She is has somehow, and you're not quite sure from where, acquired like arm floaties and is just floating in the red dessert topping sea in the room that you guys originally kind of entered into, and just kind of watching.
Okay. I'm going to paddle my way over to her and just kind of hang out there.
She looks over at you and she says, "Infrared clone, don't you have a job you should be doing?"
Yes, ma'am. We were instructed to reseat a plug, but we were not instructed to locate this plug. Followed our directions, it led us here.
So clearly, if your directions led you here, the plug is here somewhere. I suggest you do your job before I call friend computer.
I asked friend computer where it was, and friend computer was very rudely interrupted by Steve before it could tell me where it was.
Good job, Steve.
Well, that sounds like an infrared problem to me. And she just kind of leans back and goes back to like lounging on top of this red dessert topping.
I follow suit.
She looks over and she says, "I'm making a note of this, just so you know."
Yes, ma'am.
Good for you.
All right.
Clerical
And so
skills.
now it is the lurker below the toppings' turn to do things.
The lurker below the topping.
The watcher in the water.
Hurl up. Okay.
All I could think of is it's going to be like some like giant Mrs. Fields cherry pie, but like in the form of an old one.
So, Steve is pulled and like dangled, or you're probably still holding on to the steps, and the tentacle's still pulling at your leg. Gary, however, is being held up by his forearm, and the tentacle whips and just kind of slaps Gary against the side of the wall. So go ahead and take a wound for Gary.
I was hoping it was going to be a cherry topping belly flop.
And HB Fox, Chase notices that when something hits the wall below him, the room kind of shakes, and there's this split electrical cable that was dangling from the stairs up at the top, from the room above, kind of begins to slip a little bit further, and it begins to swing dangerously close to the red dessert topping.
So it's a live cable.
It is.
Obviously, right? Okay. Oh dear. I think just to be on the safe side, is there anything above me or just kind of around the stairs that I can shoot the grappling hook at or grappling gun at, where it won't damage anything? It'll just kind of wrap around it.
So there's a lot of rubble and stuff from the room above, but you're not sure how well any of that is secured. It could be that it's buried under tons and tons of stuff and it'll be completely secure and you won't have any problems. It could be that it's a loose rock.
Okay, well, I think I'm going to take my chances and shoot the gun in that general area. And if it catches anything, I'll give it a good tug.
Just a nice long hard tug.
Just a good tug.
Yeah, you know,
It's a vigorous
quick,
tug.
a little jerky.
All right, go ahead and do that. All right, so the grappling gun shoots out, and the tip kind of embeds into a chunk of rubble.
So
Happens to have like these little barnacles all over it.
does it hold fast when I pull on it?
It does.
In that case, I will retract it, so I am pulled in that direction.
Okay. And are you just kind of dangling in the air, or what are you attempting to accomplish with this?
First, just to get out of the red topping, in
Okay.
case that wire touches it. I don't especially want to be electrocuted. And how close am I from that wire now? Like, did I
You
get in close to it, or am I out of arm's reach from the thing?
You're probably within arm's reach if you like cause yourself to swing on the grappling cable. you could probably swing over and reach it.
I think that is probably a bad idea because I have very poor athletics.
Do it.
It's fine. But I think there's a good spot with HB Fox hanging from the ceiling, Rojan getting smashed against the wall, and everybody else involved in some weird anime. We're going to take our first break for the evening. You folks that are watching at home, thanks for hanging out with us. We really do appreciate it. We're going to take a quick 5-minute break, get up, stretch legs, all that fun stuff, and we will be right back. Don't go anywhere. All right, we're back. Welcome back, everybody.
It's energy drink
Welcome
time.
back.
Imp, look! I broke my chair!
Good job.
GG.
Impressive.
Okay.
Mags being accident prone.
Well, she was broken. She had to break something else in return. I think that's kind of how that works.
Yeah, gotta go full circle, bro.
Oh, so she's a Windows program. Once she breaks, everything breaks.
Yes.
Pretty much.
Magpie.exe fucks everything up.
Or just fucks everything.
Oh, that's why I added the up.
I've heard it both ways. I mean, what? All right, so we have Chase, who is dangling from the ceiling. Greg? Not Greg. Gary. Gary. There we go.
Greg. Hey, Greg. What's up?
His name's Greg now. Fuck it.
I got slammed to a wall so hard that my name changed.
That's right. And then we have Steve and Fitz. No, Fitz is now mopless, and Steve is being dragged into the red depths by this metal tentacle thing.
It's been a long time since I've been in the red depths.
Sure, there's a story there that I don't want to follow up with, so we'll move right along. So you guys all should have action cards now. I'm still not sold on this whole action card thing, but we're gonna keep doing it just to see.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's a little clunky, isn't it?
Yeah,
but it's okay.
but we're just
cool.
gonna see, and I think you know what, we're gonna give the best player card to Dan, just for hanging onto the steps and not giving in. Oh, it won't let me do it.
What do I get?
If I can give this card out. I don't know. It's a card.
You can't just give cards out.
I can too. There we go.
No,
Yes,
the
you can.
game won't let you.
There we go. Now Dan has it. It's fine.
Oh, what does that mean?
Oh, it means you're the number one player. You have the number one player card.
Oh, hell yeah. What does that mean?
Absolutely nothing.
Okay. Excellent.
It's a pointless little
Excellent.
trophy.
Excellent. I'm number one. Yeah. Okay.
So I
Right.
think I'm going to try something a little different with the cards this time.
Okay.
Once you guys have them out, go ahead and play your cards, because that kind of determines the initiative order. But we're going to try something a little different with them once they're played. Why is that card transparent? Oh, because I'm on the wrong layer. That's why. There we go.
I can do. Oh, whoops. Sorry.
You broke it.
Trying to do things with the cards. Hang on.
There.
I can't change the size of the card.
That's no worries.
Oh no, there we go. There we go. It's fine.
Explosions. Yeah, I don't know why these play super huge, but that's fine. We'll fix them all.
I can't read these. Can I just double click on it without it coming out?
You just have to move closer to the monitor.
You have to shift drag.
No, but I want to read it.
Just single click on it
in your hand.
Just look.
So, Imp, aren't we supposed to like roll dice for attacks and whatnot too, along with the action cards?
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking about this time around. So that's why I was going to try something a little different. HP Fox I'm assuming that's your card.
Yes.
Okay. So that's what I was kind of going to do a little differently this time, Rojan, and we'll see if it works better. And maybe this is the way it's intended, and I just didn't understand the instructions. That's completely possible. So we'll see. Mags is leaning forward, and so all we see in the frame is like her eyes up. And it's like my grandparents had this thing on the top of one of their cabinets, and it was just this guy like hanging over the edge. It was like this porcelain thing, and so it was just this big nose and like the top of his head and like his hands, and that's what it reminded me of.
Well, travelers, you are joined on your adventure today by a giant named Kanye.
Double A Ron Gaming, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the
Hey,
show.
Double A Ron.
Welcome
What's
to
up,
the
dude? He's one of my regulars.
So I'm now curious because of our voice clip for that is from Key and Peele. I'm curious, is it double A-Ron or is it A-A-Ron?
You done messed up, A-A-Ron.
Hey!
All right. So everybody has their cards out. So I'm gonna kind of talk through this first, and you guys tell me if it makes sense. We'll flip all the cards over. We won't read what card you played. I'll just figure out what order everybody's going in from the cards. Then you'll tell me your action, and then with the action, we'll take your card into effect, and it'll affect the outcome of your actions. Does that make sense?
Okay, say that again.
So we'll flip all the cards over. So because there's a turn order on the card, so that helps me determine what order everything happens in, and then we'll ignore the card. And you'll tell me you'll tell me what you're doing for your action on your turn, and then we'll roll for that action, and then we'll take the card into effect on the outcome of the action.
All right. I think Max is going to like my card.
All right. So let's do that. Flip card. Oh. God damn it. Phrasing. All right. So we have action order 6, which was Dan's. So Dan goes first. What are you doing? You're kind of clinging to the steps at this point. The tentacle is trying to pull you down into the depths.
Yeah. I'm going to thrash around a lot in the water, in the liquid, to try and cause confusion, and hopefully in an attempt to make the tentacle thing kind of just freak it out a little bit, and maybe it'll like release its grip on me.
Okay.
And the card is the wetter the better. So, describes a liquid that's useful to the action. So I'm going to say that the liquid is the dessert topping and the action is thrashing.
Okay. So go ahead and give me a roll for that.
Okay.
And then we will add an additional D6 to it. Which unfortunately I didn't have couldn't figure out a way to get a prompt to pop up for that, so you'll just have to manually type one in.
Well, I'm gonna roll intimidate, because I'm kind of trying to
distract it and get it off. That works. Okay. And then just manually roll another D6 on top of that.
Okay.
All right. So you have 2 successes. That's fine. And you begin to splash around and thrash with kind of your free leg and your hands as its thing is dragging you into the red dessert topping. Yeah, you got 2 seconds. And the tentacle kind of hesitates, and you can feel its grip on your leg kind of loosen, and you take that opportunity just to kind of pull your leg back up and scurry back onto the steps.
Cool. Awesome. I'm going to climb up the steps a few as well, just try and get a little bit further away.
All right. And then we had, looks like this is HP Foxes. Yeah. HP Fox, we have everything looks like a nail. And this is yours.
Oh, is that the one I played? Shit, that was the wrong card.
Does that mean you want to nail everything or hammer everything?
Yes.
So what is, now that you were dangling from the ceiling, what are you doing?
Being very confused because I meant to play a defensive card, not a hit everything card.
Well,
Jesus.
Ross is the only one near you. Poor Ross.
well, there's also that live electric cable.
Oh god, he's gonna nail Ross.
Well, see, that's why I wanted the defensive card, because I wanted to grab that thing.
I mean,
But
you can still kind of grab it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're hanging from the ceiling, you're not grounded.
I think instead what I'm gonna do is, since the card says that you spot a tool that's useful to the action, and since this whole area is kind of demolished, I'm gonna retract the gun the rest of the way, so I'm like right up at the ceiling.
Okay.
And I'm gonna spot a broken pipe or a piece of rebar or something like that that I can grab and maybe use as a bit of a pry to knock some of the rubble away from the cable. Kind of so I have a better area that I can grab onto around it and maybe climb up, and so I'm not dangling anymore.
Okay. So you spot a crowbar that is kind of sitting on one of the steps that got knocked down from the room above when whatever catastrophe up there happened. So go ahead and give me a roll to kind of bump the rubble out of the way and dig through it without getting electrocuted.
I'm gonna say a demolitions roll, since I'm kind of demolishing stuff.
Yeah, that'll work, and then we'll add an extra dice manually. So go ahead and roll a dice, a d6.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fine.
So you swing the crowbar at this wire, at the debris, trying to knock it loose. Unfortunately, the crowbar ends up hitting the wire, causing the end to flip up and contact the crowbar, sending electricity through you, clenching your fist onto the grappling gun that you're hanging from, and then as the wire swings back the other way, your fist relaxes, dropping you smoking down to the red dessert topping filled room below you. The grappling hook now embedded in the ceiling, out of reach.
Am I still alive?
You're smoking. I don't think you're dead, but you probably take a wound for that.
Fair enough.
All right, hang on just a second. All right. So we have tide turn orders next, and then I need to see what order this thing moves in. It doesn't say. So all right. Let's see. We've got 2. Let's figure out. I need 2. And whenever roll 20, I'll actually roll it. There we go. Rojan. So you had the critical success card.
Yep.
And what are you attempting to do?
I am going to attempt to destroy the tentacle that has a hold of me.
Okay, how are you going to do that?
I'm just gonna beat on it with the lead pipe. The pipe hasn't seemed to fail me yet, so.
All right.
Let's just Mike Hagar this thing.
Go ahead and give me a roll for it.
All right.
1 success. All right. So you kind of feel some sort of strength enhancement from this bodysuit kick on in the arm as you swing the lead pipe, and it connects with the tentacle that kind of lets go and drops you into the red dessert topping as it kind of retracts back towards wherever it is below, or wherever it's connected to below.
All right.
All right, and then we have Mags. What are you doing? Now you got your mop kind of snatched from you last time, so you're no longer carrying a mop. What are you doing?
So these tentacles have to have a source. I am going to go all Subnautica, and I'm going to try and swim my way through this to find the base of these tentacles and see if there's an off switch.
Okay.
That's all I can think of.
Okay, so with your card that you played, you realize that this is a dangerous situation, calls for an unusual application of your skills. Make an attack,
Demolitions.
but pick a non-standard stat and skill combination. Then persuade the GM that they're applicable in this particular situation. So what stat and skill combination are you going to be using to swim and try to destroy whatever's below the surface of this red desert topping?
I guess I'm gonna use my violence for my stat, because I'm going down there with the intent to murder, death, kill, whatever this is.
Okay.
And demolitions in the hope that it not only just keels over and dies, but it explodes in a glorious blaze of red cherry glaze and hopefully not body parts.
All right, so violence and demolitions. Demolitions is normally mechanics, so that'll work. It looks like you've got a 2 in violence and a 5 in demolition. So roll, let's see, and we'll give that a success. So roll 9d6.
Jesus.
Alright, 9d6. Haha!
And we've got one. I see 3 successes there. All right. So you swim down with the intent of like bashing the brains in of whatever is kind of below the surface, controlling these things. And as you kind of get down there, you see that there is this. What is it? It's a repair bot that is kind of clinched to the bottom of the floor. With these tentacles kind of moving out of it. And it looks like there seems to be this big wheel, kind of like an old crank wheel that it's guarding. And you kind of rush down into it, charging, somehow propelling yourself through this red desert topping with your mighty dolphin kicks. And your fist just kind of goes slamming into this thing. And it's got this big glass dome on top of it where this sensor eye looking thing is just darting around, and a crack begins to kind of form in the dome. All right, and then it is the repair bot's turn, which has a couple of actions. Let's see. And I think the first one it's going to do, or the action it's going to take, is going to be to attempt to grab Fitz, and just kind of wrap a tentacle around Fitz's leg, holding him down under the red desert topping.
It's okay, I can eat my way out.
No successes. So the tentacle like darts by, just kind of skirting right between your legs as it tries to kind of grab you. That seemed to work a little bit better with combat doing it that way. Does everybody kind of feel like that worked a little bit better?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so let's do it that way again. So you guys should have some more action cards. Go ahead and play which one you would like to use.
Now, do you have to play an action card, or like is not playing an action card just automatically considered a 0?
That's a good question. Let me look. Let's see. It's on page 28 or so. So if you don't play one, you don't get to do anything this turn. It actually says that I should count and give you guys like 5 seconds to play something. This being roll 20 and kind of funky, I'm not going to worry about it that much. But yeah, so you do have to play something. If you don't play anything, then you just don't take a turn. So I feel like in person this would be a little bit more faster paced. But Alright, so there's Rojans. A Mags, HP Foxes, and Dan stuff. Somebody played one.
Oh, I played it the wrong way, but still, it doesn't really matter.
I'll just flip it back over.
That was the one I meant to play last turn.
So it's a complete surprise as to what it'll be. I have no idea. I'm sure it's eye lasers or something.
Absolutely.
Mags is doing her like eyes just above her border thing.
It's
funny.
contemplating here. I'm
like-
sorry.
Like this is all I see of Mags. It's just. Oh, you guys can't see that on Skype. You'll have to watch the stream to see it. Alright, that's Mags, I'm assuming?
Yep.
And then Dan's.
Sorry, what am I doing?
Playing your action for the round.
Oh God, I'm so sorry. I was like, I wasn't looking at Roll20, but I was listening. I didn't realise. I'm sorry.
Just make you serenade everybody for our apologies. That's fine.
Pretty sure you should take away that
I was going to
player
say, I
card
think
for
I have
that.
to take that card back now, though.
That feel when the top player card goes to your head.
Oh no. What?
I feel like I
What?
should give it to somebody, though. I'm gonna have to give it to Mags. Mags did some things.
Yeah, she's probably the only one that actually did something that turn.
Hey, I did something. I hit
Yeah,
the
but your
tentacle.
something got taken from you.
Ran out of cards. in
Wait,
the deck.
nothing got taken from me.
Except your dignity. Wait, what?
I don't have any dignity. What are you talking about?
Dennis, I don't know what. Which
Oh wait, no,
is-
I don't have shame. That's what it is.
There you go.
Can it be both?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, all right,
It
okay,
most definitely can.
all right.
Alright. So everybody's got a card on the table, so we will
Sorry.
flip all of these now. Action order first. Alright, so this is going to be Rojans.
Yep.
Front. Doesn't even give a number, it just says he goes first. Alright, so what action are you taking?
So is Steve is still technically in the grasp of a tentacle, right?
No, I'm free now.
Oh,
Yeah,
you're
he
free
got
now.
freed.
I got free. Yep. I'm on the
Okay.
stairs. I've got out of harm's way. for now.
So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of do what Mags did, and I'm just going to try to get to the center of wherever these tentacles are meeting. I'm just going to drive the pipe down on it.
Please don't hit me instead.
Okay.
I might do that.
How are you? So at this turn, then you're just kind of swimming down to where it's at. Go ahead and give me a roll to swim down there, and we're gonna drop your last dice because you do lose one dice for the snap decision.
Can't I can lower the dice on my sheet.
Yeah, if you want to do it that way, you can.
Yeah, I'll take off one of the
Just make sure
athletics
you put it back.
dice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, one success.
Okay, I'm gonna use my card just because I want to be a dick.
Okay.
And not so hot, which removes Gary's success.
All right.
We doing this now.
So
We're doing this now.
how
right.
are you preventing him from diving under the red dessert topping?
I am.
Or I guess it says describe something.
Describe something unexpected that hindered them. As Gary goes to dive, one of the tentacle comes up and splashes the dessert topping just as Gary is taking his, hold his breath to go underneath, and instead of breathing in air, he breathes in a bunch of dessert topping, which basically, effectively, kind of like makes him sort of.
I mean, would that work with the helmet?
Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna. It's a good description. I'm gonna let it go.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it like gets into the air vent of the helmet, and I just start like
All of a sudden,
gagging on
Inhaling
dessert
red
topping.
Dessert topping. Yep.
Yeah, you inhale a bunch of topping, basically. Yeah.
All right, and then we have 2. This is Mags, I believe. Yeah, Mags, your lucky vent. What does your lucky vent do? Or what are you doing, rather?
My lucky vent.
My lucky
It says
vent,
describe a
what?
convenient terrain feature, a crane, vent, steam pipe, and so on that's useful to the action. The GM has veto over your description. So what is your lucky vent doing for you, Mags?
Down, boys.
I feel
My
like
lucky vent. This shit.
I feel like if anybody's watched Community, there's just this grate that like in the room, the study room, that they just like randomly dives into, and that a monkey named Annie's boobs lives in, and I just feel like that's somebody's lucky vent. Now.
No, so I imagine like, cause certain places have ventilation shafts. Some of them are even set on the floor just to help with airflow, and flip a switch and sucks down the tentacle monster.
I mean, would that technically be your lucky shaft?
It's a pretty large shaft if it's sucking down the whole monster.
I mean, yeah.
Well, I mean, it's a cleaner butt. How big can it
Sounds
be?
like a lucky.
It's probably like what is this? What is the length of my desk? This thing's the size of like a computer desk.
Okay, well, I'm gonna drain some of this fluid then, and it'll help unhinder us.
You're gonna drain some of the fluid from your lucky shaft. Okay.
Yes.
I have a thing I have to go find real quick.
Oh dear.
So I don't know that it can pull the whole robot in, or the whole cleaner bot in, but maybe we can get one of the tentacles stuck into a vent.
Okay.
Hey, phrasing!
So we can
12
just do it that
mentality
way.
confirmed. Now.
All right. So one of the tentacles has been taken out of play now, so it's down to 3. All right. HP Fox, we have improvised defenses. You find a piece of armor or clothing that's helpful to your current situation. Describe what you find.
Well, my current situation is just recently being electrocuted. So I'm going to say I find a pair of rubber gloves, like dish gloves, just kind of floating by in the dessert topping that I can grab and put on.
All right. So there's a bottle of like Dawn detergent that floats by, and then a moment later these 2 bright yellow dish gloves float by that you can grab.
So I will grab them, I will put them on, and then I will climb to the top of those stairs as high as I can get anyway. Oh, actually, did the crowbar fall down with me? Or is it still stuck up there somewhere?
I think it fell down with you.
Okay, I'm going to bring that crowbar
I think
with me.
You would have let go of the grappling gun and the crowbar kind of at the same time, so it probably fell into the red dessert topping somewhere.
So at the top of the stairs, how far from me is this cable?
So it's laying across the top, like, let's call it 3 stairs.
Okay.
Now that everything's kind of shifted around and got jostled from when Gary got hit against the wall.
So I am going to, now that I'm wearing the gloves, grab the cable and just kind of hold it over the edge of the stairs. The goal is to use the cable kind of like a Donkey Kong vine to get the grappling gun.
Okay. All right. So you're swinging from the stairs out to where the grappling gun is on the ceiling via this live electric cable.
Yes.
This is going to go swimmingly, I'm sure. Go ahead and roll me an athletics roll and add 2 dice to it.
This is still going to go super poorly for me, but...
Wow.
Negative
-2.
2 successes.
It's really good.
How did... You know what?
Shouldn't that be plus? Shouldn't that be plus 2 fails?
Yeah, actually, rolling negative is a treasonous activity.
Oh dear.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it's gonna kill me. So
you hang on to the cable, and you swing out off these steps, and the cable, as you kind of reach the arc or the crest of the swing, whatever was holding the cable in place loses its grip, and you and the cable go flying down into the red dessert topping. Who else in red dessert topping at the moment?
I think we all are.
Yeah.
Including What's-Her-Face.
Yeah, they were all in it downstairs, and me and Roz were in it one floor above them.
So, there's a thing that happens.
Is my power armor perchance insulated to where I will not take electricity damage?
Unfortunately, since it is bullet riddled, it is not. And as Chase and this electric cable hit the red dessert topping, you all feel a wave of something coursing through you, something strange and powerful. You decide to keep this information to yourself. So we apparently weren't supposed to do this at character creation, but this is where your mutant abilities come from. So you all have that mutant ability card that is now active, assuming you actually got a mutant ability card. Some of them got a mutant ability, some of them were blank. So you may not have gotten one. But I know Rojan was asking me about how you use them. You basically use them in place of an action card during your turn for combat and stuff. So
is it like a one and done style thing, or?
It's a you can use it. It doesn't specify one and done. So I would imagine you can use it whenever you would like, but it's also treasonous to be a mutant. So there's that. And
on the note of cards, though, when do the Secret Society ones come into play, or have they already, like, right from the beginning?
They have already.
Okay.
So you are already part of a secret society. Depending on if you got a secret society card, or if you got a secret society on your card, rather. That was not what I meant to roll. I meant to roll 1d4, not 46.
Good job.
HP Fox. Okay. So it is the creature's turn. And actually, I don't have a way to do that, so we're just going to go with the logical one. One of the tentacles that kind of darted between Fitz's legs earlier are coming back around, and instead it's going to try to kind of wrap around Fitz's torso.
Dinner first?
Well, I mean, you've already had your dessert, so there's plenty of dessert around if you didn't get enough. It's going to be unsuccessful, though. So the tentacle kind of darts back around, and somehow Fitz kind of shimmies out of the way through this red dessert topping as he's swimming back towards the surface to try to get a breath of air. Gives everyone superpowers instead. Good job, HP Fox. You know why you
can't do anything right.
You know why you didn't kill everybody?
We're not dogs.
None of them are dogs. Yeah.
You're all terrible people.
Oh, I don't deny this.
So go ahead and play. You can play either an action card or a mutant ability now for your next action.
Is that your action?
Yes. Okay. Be gentle.
All right. So this is Rojan's, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Mags is the mutant power. All right. This one's HP Fox's, I'm guessing. Okay. Yeah, that one's done. All right. 4, 3, a 4, and a 0. All right. So which 4 is going first? 2. 2. Mags. So bring to front. All right. So your mutant ability says cryokinesis. Spend 1 moxie to significantly lower the temperature somewhere within your line of sight and create a small patch of ice, slowing down people or machines, and so on. It's difficult to encase something in ice or lower the temperature enough to do serious harm to people, but you could do it in a pinch. So what are you doing?
I am dramatically.
Dramatically. Word of the day.
It's dramatic and grammatical. Okay, and I'm going to be dramatically lowering the temperature around the topping that's around this thing to almost freeze it, because I believe the freezing temperature of cherry topping is significantly low. Anyway.
I'm not sure how you know that.
I used to work in a bakery.
Sure.
And do it to slow down this machine.
Okay. All right. So you're spending a moxie, so you remove one of your moxie.
I just did.
All right, and just because of the amount of derp that is on the face of that card, I didn't realize it the first time I looked through these, but that is a derpy face.
She's slowing everything down.
What is that?
She's got brain freeze.
Oh my god. This LSD is amazing.
We'll go with you actually are focusing on freezing the bot to the point that the glass around the sensor where you cracked it earlier kind of becomes a little bit more brittle, and the crack spreads out through the sensor a little bit more. The arms begin to move a little bit slower, so this time I'll take away a dice from whatever action the bot takes with his arms.
Oh yeah.
All right, and so then we have Dan with a risky trick. What are you doing?
I am climbing to the top of the stairs, and then I am going to dive downwards towards the bot and try to dive and power fist it.
Fisting the bot? Okay.
Hey, bang! Like down, like to try and just like kill it or do something damaging to it. Yeah. So I get 2 extra dice. But yeah, obviously I can't roll crit fails. So do you want me to roll a? Let's see. I don't actually have anything good to roll for this, to be honest. But athletics.
All right.
That didn't actually work really.
And then go ahead and add 2d or roll 2d6.
Come on.
You did fail.
Come on.
There we go.
Yes.
That's a success. All right. Because you've basically kind of jumped off this high dive using the stairs as an impromptu high dive into the red dessert topping, kind of both fists out in front of you, and you just contact the glass around the sensor that was frozen from the cryokinesis, and it just shatters, and the tentacles all kind of go limp, and you see the eye that was inside of the sensor kind of roll back as far as it can, as this thing just kind of falls limp under the red dessert topping. And just because I think it'll be fun to do, HP Fox, we have a called shot to the groin. What are you doing?
So I'm using this more for the called shot, rather than the groin part, because I'm targeting an item. I'm going to use the crowbar, and I'm going to throw it at the grappling hook to dislodge it so it falls down from the ceiling.
Okay, so you're throwing a crowbar at the grappling hook's groin. Got it.
Yes.
Today we learned grappling hooks have groins.
All right, go ahead and roll for it with a success. So you hit it. If they're an NPC, they're out of action for that many rounds. If they're a PC, they're out of action for that many rounds. So the grappling hook is now out of action for the next round. Okay.
Did it fall down, or is it still stuck up there?
It's still stuck up there.
Right
Great.
in the bolts.
And then Rojan, we have Colossal Snafu. What are you doing?
Well, I figured in response to me getting screwed over the last time, I figured that all of the successes that happened recently
Don't you dare.
were kind of like that's what we wanted to happen, but here's what actually happened. And the exact opposite took place. Because it does say the GM pulls out the thumb screws.
Yeah, which means I need to figure out something for this.
You're evil.
All right. So, as the glass around the sensor cracks and the arms of the bot go limp, everybody that's not submerged in red dessert topping, you hear loud claxons begin to kind of go off, and these lights begin to spin, and panels on the walls around the room begin to drop, and people in red uniforms begin to march out, all of them holding laser pistols pointed directly at you.
Rojan!
I didn't do anything. Not my fault.
So, next round. Go ahead and play your action cards. And I think Dan and Mags, you guys are not aware of what's going on with the people with laser guns. HP Fox and Rojan, or Chase and Gary are very aware of them.
Okay. I've only got one action card.
Yep, I'm playing my last action card as well.
So,
Okay. That's fine. We'll just redeal them after this round if we need to. I assume that was HP Fox. Mags, I think I deleted your...
Oh wow.
Power.
Whoops. Yeah, let me go, I'll go through the deck.
Oh wow. I could really fuck someone over with this card. This is amazing.
Fantastic. That's what I like to hear. As a
Great.
DM.
Oh hell yeah.
Let's see if I can I... Nope. I'm trying to see if I can find Mags's mutant ability card to give it back to her real quick. All right, let's go ahead and I'll do that later. All right, so it looks like HP Fox is going to go first with misidentified. So HP Fox, what are you doing?
Nope, that one's not mine.
Oh, who is that? That's Mags. Sorry, Mags. What are you doing? You are kind of below the red dessert topping down there with the shit. That was the wrong button. With the remains of the bot.
The remains of the what?
The remains of the bot. Sorry, I fucked something up. I'll fix it later. And there's this big like hand crank that's down there with it, like this big wheel that it seemed to be guarding.
Okay. I'm sorry, what are we doing? I had brain freeze.
I don't know. What are you doing? There is also a what looks to be the body of a clone kind of hanging onto the wheel.
I think she accidentally.
I
think when she played her last action card, she froze her own brain.
She did.
Okay, yeah, no, leaving the cherry topping, that's officially creepy. No, I'm gonna, I need to move to get out of this, because I think it's been a while since I've taken a breath.
Okay.
I need to get out of the cherry topping, and then for my card, I'm literally going to point at whatever her fucking name is and just blame everything on her.
Alright, so you come up for a breath and you see all of these red clearance clones there with their guns pointed at various people, and then you immediately go, "It was her," and point at Roz.
Yes.
Okay.
Damn.
She's not helping us.
She's not.
I mean, that's fair.
Your clearance isn't high enough, bitch. I will
So-
You don't
kill
have
you.
security clearance.
What are you saying to them, other than just, "It was her"? Or is that all you're saying?
She's in cahoots with with the
The terrorists.
she's in cahoots with the terrorists, so why else would she be allowing this to happen?
Alright, roll me a intimidate or charm or whatever you want to use to kind of play this off, and you get 2 additional dice.
Oh, they're about the same, so we're gonna go with charm.
Alright, and go ahead and give me your 2 additionals.
2d6?
Yep.
Slash. Alright, I swear I know how to do this.
There we go. So 2 successes. All right. So they all look at you, and their attention and guns immediately kind of focus on Roz. And she just kind of looks around. She was laying there, kind of hands behind her head, with her floaties on, and she just slowly kind of unclasps them and raises her hands into the air. Mags, when you get a second, try to steal that card from my hand. That was
What
your
card?
the mutant ability card. That was yours.
That's the green one, right?
Yep. Should be the only one in my hand.
Okay.
Let it go. All right. Haha! Forza Crowd. Who's this? HP Fox. What are you doing? You've got Forza Crowd here. What actions are you taking?
Well, since the group of NPCs that I was going to bring into it were people with guns, convenient that some dudes with guns are already there. Doesn't give me any bonuses like I'd hoped it would, but I'm gonna try and convince one of the guys to give me his laser pistol.
All right. Go ahead and give me a charm or intimidate or whatever you want to use for that. A success. He looks around at all the other red clones with laser pistols drawn, and there's about 15 of them. So he shrugs and just kind of hands you his.
Fantastic.
All right, we got 2 left. Oops. No, 1, 2. That was right. It's right the first time. 1. All right, Dan. What are you? We've got Lucky Manual here for you. What are you doing?
Yeah, I can't really play this card until. I mean, I can, I guess. I was hoping to play this card against one of the fellow players.
Okay.
But I mean, I have to use it now.
Well, it is your turn.
Do I have to use the card?
No, not necessarily. I think we can work around it.
Okay.
If there's something else you want to do, although I may work it into whatever you want to do too. So.
Destroy the people trying to cap the target. Okay. I'll I don't know why I want to do this. I just purely in the spirit of being a complete cock jockey. I'm going to attack. I'm going to attack HB Fox, and then hopefully use this card to destroy his grappling gun. that he's been getting so much great usage out of.
Okay.
Oh,
So
my
just
grappling gun.
out of jealousy for not picking up, or was it? It was Mags that didn't get an item earlier.
Pretty much. No,
Okay.
no. I got a med kit.
That's right.
The most,
So
it's really useful when you can, just be killed and reclone. Yeah.
Okay. So in my head, what has happened is Steve has kind of emerged from the red dessert topping and like chunked his med kit across the room to like knock the or try to break the grappling gun. So go ahead and give me a roll for it. In my head it was a throw, but if you have another method that you want to use for something similar, then that's fine.
I don't really have a. I've got nothing. Like I've got such just bullshit skills. That's terrible. All right, fine. Try throw. No.
Okay. So you chunk the med kit, and it probably knocks the. Actually, I'm gonna see how that. Let's see something here. Okay. So it knocks the grappling hook, or the grappling gun, which is still kind of hanging from the ceiling, and the grappling gun like sways back and forth a few times, and the medkit like falls down into the red dessert topping with this just plop.
All right, can my card come into effect to influence that?
Sure. So
okay.
We have, the attack hits a different target from the one intended. Try to persuade your GM who you want it to be, and see if they listen to you.
So what I'm thinking is Steve tries to chuck the med kit towards Fox's character, but due to the amount of dessert topping that is on the handle, in mid throw his hand slips and the med kit goes flying at the head of one of the security officers.
All right. Yeah,
I got first aid here.
Yeah. So the med kit goes flying, and it just like beans one of the guys in the temple, who just falls face first into the red dessert topping. His laser pistol going flying up into the air, and just kind of arcing, and everybody stops, kind of watching to where it will fall. And I think we should take our next break. And so we'll I'll figure out where that falls, and we'll come back in about 5 minutes. You guys watching at home, thanks so much for hanging out with us. We really do appreciate it. We're going to take a quick 5-minute break, get up, stretch legs, all that fun stuff. And just because it gives me an excuse to leave you guys with a cliffhanger for a few minutes. Really, that's the reason why we're doing it. But we will be right back. Thanks so much for hanging out, guys.
All right, I'll be right back.
Just walk right
face, I want to call out and say, friend computer, this clone has just assaulted a security officer with a medical kit.
Okay.
Not assault if it's the intent to heal.
The intent to heal.
I mean, there's less offensive things. Like there's much, Yeah, have some healing.
So I think friend computer, the panel opens up, the screen swings down, and it looks at Gary at first, and he says, "Can you point at the clone who assaulted this red worker?"
Yes, friend computer, and I point over to Steve.
All right.
I point back at Gary.
So friend computer, kind of the panel swings over to Steve, and he says, "Steve, is this true that you attempted to, or that you assaulted this red clone with a medkit?"
100% incorrect. And also, I believe if you look back through Gary's files, you will see a lifetime of habitual lying.
Go ahead and roll me your charm against friend computer there.
Oh, okay.
All right. So he looks back at Gary, looks at Steve, and he kind of scans the room as the red clone is face down, drowning in the red dessert topping. And he looks back to Gary and he says, "Worker Steve was simply trying to provide aid to this drowning red clone. Exactly. That is to be commended and not punished." And you hear a ding as Steve receives a single XP.
A single XP.
And then the screen kind of folds back up into the ceiling.
Wow. There you go.
God, what kind of...
GG.
What kind of computer is this that it's like so easily swindled by us?
Yes.
It's insane. That's part of the thing. All right. So I'm going to kind of work to wrap this up so that we can finish the first adventure at the end of this session tonight. So to move things along, the red clones that are there work to pull their fallen comrade from the red dessert topping, while the rest of them kind of keep their guns trained on Roz. One of them looks back to the four of you and says, "Don't you have a job that you should be completing in this sector?"
We were just doing that.
Don't argue. Don't argue.
No, I'm not arguing. I am confirming that yes, we are doing our job.
He nods as he begins to help pull the fallen comrade out of the red dessert topping. It kind of making this weird suction noise as they're kind of pulling his body out of it. What are you guys doing?
I look around, not noticing Chase anywhere.
No, I'm standing there.
I thought you were up in the air.
Nope.
Nope.
No, he
I'm
fell
kind of
down
standing
after
there.
he got fricasseed.
I'm standing there beside one of the red workers.
Okay. I just do just a quick survey of the area, seeing if I can't find some sort of plug or something that we're supposed to take out and put back in.
Okay. So you're still in the main room, kind of in between the floors, or the middle floor, rather?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mags, what is Fitz doing?
I don't remember where I am.
You were
I
coming
know
up
where
for
I am,
air
but...
in the bottom floor where the bot was.
Oh wait, no, I would be down there too because I got grabbed by it and I was fighting it.
Okay. So that room is fuller of the red dessert topping, where you actually kind of have to swim. So if you're looking around on the floor, you're gonna have to dive down to try to look around on the floor for an outlet.
Okay.
Yeah. So Max, what's Fitz doing?
I actually don't know. Okay, I've got a tactical stuck. I guess I could finish breaking this stupid dome on its face so it'll fully break down.
No, it's broken.
Oh, good. I'm gonna see if I can't pry it up out of the vent so the rest of the goo can just down to the vent and get, mess up the rest of the floors.
Okay. So you dive down and kind of push it out of the way or whatever it was guarding.
To free up the vent.
Okay.
Let all this goo just suck down.
So you push it out of the way, and there's this, it looks like it's a giant bathtub stopper that it was guarding. And there's a chain that's running from it to the big hand crank on the wall that the dead clone is kind of hanging to.
Little pieces fall into place. I'm going to head over to that hand crank.
Okay. And just start to kind of move it, or what are you doing? Because you've got this dead
I'm
body
using
that's
the
in
clone because if it's gonna go after anything, it's probably gonna go after whatever is holding onto this thing. So I'm just gonna start tugging on the clone.
Okay, and the clone has a name that's floating above it, and it says Daphne-G-THAC 0-6. And there's a key that is kind of on a cord around its neck. As you're kind of jostling it under the red dessert topping, it kind of comes floating out.
What's the rule, guys? If it shines, it mines.
All right, and so what are you doing?
Well, I've claimed the key, and I'm just gonna kick dead Daphne off, and I'm just gonna try and finish moving this crank on my own.
Okay. While she's doing that, what is Steve up to?
Steve is going to try and recover the med kit that he threw.
Okay. So you're kind of swimming over to the stairs and going over to where the fallen red clone was.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And they're still struggling to kind of pull it out, or pull the clone out. The medkit is kind of stuck halfway out of the red dessert topping, like a corner of it just kind of sticking up. And you can pry it out of that pretty easily.
Awesome.
HP Fox, what is Chase up to while all this is going on?
So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to retrieve the laser pistol that the dead clone dropped. I'm going to kind of brush the goo off of it and hand it to the clone that gave me his pistol, so he doesn't get in trouble for not having one. And I am going to... I think I'm going to say to him that I don't mean to impose on you any further, but is there any way you could help me retrieve that grapple gun that's stuck in the ceiling?
He looks up and this is the one that you gave the gun back to. And
Yes.
he nods and he takes aim with the laser rifle, or the laser pistol rather, and shoots at the grappling gun. Let's call it 3. And he unfortunately hits the grappling gun directly. He was trying to hit the wall or the ceiling around it to knock it loose. Unfortunately, his aim is off, and he hits the grappling gun, disintegrating it. And he looks down as the dust particles begin to fall down, and he looks back to you and he says, "Well, it's coming down," and then he shrugs.
I mean,
Hashtag not my problem.
I just kind of shrug as well and go downstairs. There's not really much I can do in that scenario.
Okay, so Mags, you're down there with the crank, and are you kind of now working to open or unplug the plug?
Yes.
All right. So you turn this giant wheel, and it begins to pull the chain tight, and the plug comes out. And the moment it does, the red dessert topping begins to just rush down this down the opening. Who all standing in red dessert topping at the moment?
I am.
Almost everybody?
I am.
I think
yeah.
I'm probably on the stairs at this point,
All right.
coming down.
So HP Fox probably is safe. Everybody else, give me an athletics roll. Let's see if you make it out of the flood of red dessert topping, or if you're going down the drain.
Oh, God.
What'd you say? No, I'm sorry.
Max, you too. You're down there with it.
No.
You're gonna get sucked down the lucky shaft.
Hey, it's my lucky shaft. I ain't going nowhere.
All right.
Oh, come
Mags
on.
actually is able to like get an arm wrenched around this wheel as she watches as Gary and Steve are both sucked down this
Hey,
pipe.
I got a success.
You got a success. This is pretty strong current. It was a more difficult task.
Well then,
Damn it.
Bye, boys.
even when you succeed, you fail.
Well, there's a scale of difficulty for this game. It's like, oh, it was a simple task. 1 is fine. It was a little bit more difficult than maybe 3 or 4. But yeah, so Fitz is hanging on to this this wheel, watching as Gary and Steve get sucked down the pipe, never to be seen again.
No.
What are you doing? What is Fitz doing once he watches them go by?
Whoops.
All right. Well, what are you doing to get out of the situation then?
I'm gonna wait until all the goo is done. I'm literally just gonna hold on until it's drained. Once it's drained, I'm walking my happy ass back up the stairs.
All right. Give me another athletics roll to hang on to the wheel then.
Lucky shaft, don't fail me now.
Ooh, how about that? So the crowbar that Chase had earlier is in the red dessert topping and gets kind of sucked down, and as it goes by, just racks your knuckles between it and the wheel, and you let go, and that's just enough for your grip to loosen and for you to get sucked down into the void as well. And after a few minutes, a new Gary, a new Steve, and a new Fitz all appear from holes in the ceiling, from where standing around where HB Fox is on the stairs. And you guys are looking down as this red dessert topping just kind of continues to flood down the now open hole in the bottom of the floor.
Well, I guess the bright side is we don't have to sludge through that anymore.
Oh shit, I need to change my clone number. Don't forget to change your clone numbers. Hey, I'm 4.0.
4.0.
Everyone's 6.0. To be fair, I'm 3.0.
Oh.
All right. So what are you guys doing now that Ross has been kind of taken away by the red clones? They are no longer there, as you guys were kind of dealing with unplugging this plug, and so you guys are kind of left there watching the red dessert topping drain.
Yep.
What are you up to?
Since it's drained, are we able to finally get a clearer look at
try and find this plug.
the floor
outlet.
To find the plug? Yeah, to find the outlet that we need to unplug and plug back in.
Yeah. After a few minutes, the rest of the red dessert topping kind of drains through, and you guys can kind of see what's on the floor. It's all kind of covered in this red residual film, but you can see it. Yeah. But there aren't any outlets on the floor.
Just the plug.
Yeah.
We don't.
Okay. With my eyes, I just follow the plug, like the way that the plug is hanging there and everything, to see if there are any outlets within its reach.
No.
Well, there's a plug. Anyone got eyes on an outlet? I'm not.
The loss of my key.
Yeah, I'm not stepping down until I know it's safe to go into there without being sucked down the shaft again.
Well, the red dessert topping's gone, which is kind of what was causing you to get pushed down the shaft. It wasn't like
Okay.
It wasn't suction or anything. It was just a current of this stuff rushing against you.
Oh, all right. Well, then I walk over and I grab the the cord itself.
Okay.
How long is the cord exactly?
The chain that it's on is, when it's coiled up like it is right now, it kind of hangs on like about a foot length of chain. But it looks like there's enough chain kind of on the wheel for about 20 feet.
And there are stairs leading up, correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I leave the plug there, and I'm going to start walking upstairs to see if there are any outlets. Seeing as how there's a 20-foot chain here.
Okay. What is Steve doing?
I don't know what Steve's doing actually. He's lamenting the loss of his beloved medkit, and I don't really know what options do I have really. There's not much.
I mean, you guys, your job was to come unplug something and plug it back in.
Yeah. I mean, what else is there that looks like it is unpluggable? Is there anything specific that looks like I could wrench it out of its socket?
No.
No.
Not at least on that floor.
Okay. Well, if I go upstairs and then upstairs again, because we're downstairs at the moment, and we didn't really have a proper look on the top floor. We're gonna go and have a look at the top floor and see if I can see anything up there.
All right.
Because it was kind of like there was all the red stuff coming down before, but I'm assuming that's all kind of gone now.
Right, and so it's still got a lot of rubble that you'll have to dig through to be able to actually get up into the room. So you're just gonna start digging through kind of the rubble.
Yeah, just try and make my way up there.
All right, HP Fox, what is Chase up to?
So I think what I'm gonna do is kind of pull up my brain computer thingy and its compendium of knowledge, and I'm gonna see if I can find any sort of kind of like electrical blueprints of these floors. If that might be able to point me in the right direction.
Okay. So you start to look, and you're kind of searching through your cerebral cortex, and you keep running into security clearance not high enough messages. It's like forbidden information, and just kind of these large warnings and pop-ups and sirens begin to kind of go off as you dig through, looking for blueprints and electrical plans for the area.
Can I do a program roll to try and bypass some of those?
Yeah, go for it. So you kind of tinker with your cerebral cortex, and the alarms stop, but the pop-ups are still there. And these are like, we're talking about dial-up days of porn site pop-ups kind of frequency. So there's just every time you close one, 3 more open.
I'm just gonna sit down on the stairs and continue.
Okay, Mags, what is Fitz up to?
So that electrical cable that Chase had been so eloquently hanging from, it's the only other source of electrical that I've seen in here, like consistently. Maybe there's an electrical outlet near it, so I'm gonna go peruse.
Okay, so you're gonna go up with Steve and start to clear out some of the rubble up that way?
Yep,
okay.
That's the plan.
Okay, and I think that's a good spot for us to kind of end the show for this week, because I know it's super early for Dan. as well. So, yeah,
Kinda.
so that's a good spot. We will leave you guys searching for whatever it is you need to do to complete your job. All right, so that being said, HP Fox, who are you and what do you do on the internet?
I am HB Fox, and I'm the manager behind The Hunter Wild. We run a community-oriented variety cast here on Twitch. We're live kind of 7 days a week. We have random days off. We have a really terrible schedule, but it works. So I believe he's live right now. He's been playing a lot of Path of Exile recently, and that's probably not going to change anytime soon, at least not until Dauntless comes out. And then we'll be having a launch event for that.
And you guys just did a big thing for Hellblade.
Hellblade.
Yeah.
Yes, we did. Incredible game.
Right on. Mags, who are you and what do you do on the internet?
I am Hybrid Magpie. I am a creative caster here on Twitch. I do overlays, emotes, channel art, all the kind of sexy things you need to make your channel pop, and I also play the occasional video game.
I still don't believe that happens.
She's lying again.
Rojan, who are you and what do you do on the internet?
I'm Rojan Quest. I'm a variety broadcaster here on Twitch. I stream 7 days a week, mostly RPGs, PUBG, or whatever game I'm currently playing in my backlog right now. That is Red Dead Redemption.
Nice.
And much like what Fox and Hunter are doing, I too am going to be having a Dauntless event where I will be streaming it for 24 hours on the 19th for Extra Life.
All right.
Dude, we don't have the backbone to do 24 hours.
You're a monster.
I'm just insane.
Well, that's a given.
I'm already part cyborg, so you know what? Why not? Just continue that rule of robots don't sleep.
All right, Dan, who are you and what do you do on the internet? Thanks for joining us this week or this month.
That's cool. That's cool. No worries. I stream on Twitch more or less every day. I had a day off today and slept at a weird time to get up, so I could be here now. But yeah, I stream variety games and Elite Dangerous and lots of other stuff and do music stuff as well. And yeah, pretty much just stream.
Right.
That's it. More or less it.
Go throw those lovely people a follow. I'm Impius. I run Dungeons and Distractions here. We currently do 4 shows a week. Sunday night is our Blades in the Dark game, which we will be back on the 20th of August, picking that back up. I know everybody's chomping at the bit to get back into it, but I'm going to be out of town, unfortunately, this Sunday. So we will be back on the 20th for that. Monday nights are my office hours for Blades in the Dark, where I kind of walk through what happened and kind of figure out where all the factions and kind of everybody's attitude towards everybody else is. And then we also work on a homebrew hack for Blades in the Dark, turning it into something that will apply for a Cthulhu Mythos setting when we start that game up, probably in, I think we're looking at October, but it's going to depend on kind of when Blades in the Dark wraps up. Tuesdays is 5th edition D&D with Rojan, Gibbering Mouthers, so come hang out for that. And then Wednesday nights is RPG Mixtape, where we have a guest star and a new system every month. And this month we're doing Paranoia, and CMDRHughMann is joining us for that. Next month we're going to be doing Mutants and Masterminds, which is a superhero RPG, and Spooner Sloth, who was in here earlier, is going to be joining us for that one. And I'm looking forward to that. It's always fun when I get to play and not DM. So we are going to go on a raid. We're actually going to go raid Eric Volgus, who is doing some world building stuff for D&D. So what I want you guys to do is go ahead and open up his channel in a separate tab and just kind of pre-type out our raid message. I heard there were dragons in here, and then wait for the raid call, which from me. And then once you see that, just light his chat up, fill it up. He is hanging out, doing some world building stuff out of one of the books he's basically building a Borderlands kind of setting from roll tables. So if you've never seen that done, it's interesting what kind of randomness you can end up with there. So you guys, thanks so much again for hanging out with us tonight. We will be back next week on Thursday for RPG Mixtape because I will still be out of town on Wednesday, but we will be here. It'll just be a day late. Until then, thanks so much, guys.